Windrider Studios. My name is Craig Detweiler. I'm one of the hosts of The W. We're so glad to have filmmaker Sebastian Rogers with us to walk us through his creative process, how he finds wonder. Let's welcome Sebastian Rogers.
Hi, Craig. Thank you.
It's so poignant, I think, in this time of coronavirus to see a city open and populated. Only now do we start to appreciate, everyday pleasures like walking around, seeing other people doing window shopping.
Yeah, I think so. In another way, though, the film kind of highlights what we tend to miss when we're walking around window shopping. The intensity of life that can almost be crushing. I think I've spoken to a lot of people who, while we're all facing a lot of uncertainty, have also had this overwhelming feeling of having this space open up, time to be with family, time to look at the things that God has brought us in the world, even with, more time to walk in the countryside, more time to do things that bring us a sense of peace outside of the rat race, so to speak, which I don't think anyone knew how busy they were until they were in the situation where they suddenly have this time that they didn't know could be possible,
So suddenly we're kind of all breathing, maybe in a different way, right? While our breathing is threatened by the virus, we're taking this deeper breath of maybe God's glory or God's creation.
And his family, and our families. There's a kind of an irony to how much we get focused on our own efforts. And I think the movie is kind of about that. It's, we can be so in love with our own efforts and the importance of our own work and the importance of our own selves that we don't have that transcendental experience of God, And I think this is a time when we're already reflecting, I think especially in the church, where we have this weekly cycle and this run, and we don't have much time to think or to make changes that might be more honoring to God. We're kind of very much caught in a cycle. I think a lot of us now are not caught in that cycle.
Sebastian, you created Wondrous for your local church community in Portland. Do you see movies as a ministry, as a calling?
Yeah, I don't really see it as anything else. I don't have any focus on what I'm doing, really. It's always about why. And I think I was in the music industry in my youth, and there was such a strong focus on what you were trying to achieve, the spiritual aspects of things, even the meaning and the significance of things would just get diminished and diminished until you were so desperate and empty, And I was really, it's Christian ministry that is my calling.
Well, I love that magic moment, that transition, right? When we go from the city to the country. What do you hope that people take away from Wondrous?
I hope that they realize, I think the same thing that we've all taken away from this crisis is the things we idolize and put our security in are so temporary and fragile and meaningless and empty. When we idolize the things of our own hands, we miss out on the peace and the life that God's trying to give us. And so I hope it really makes people take a pause in this kind of worship of humanity and our ability to solve and fix and improve and to really just say, well, what is it that God's provided us with this life? I don't know if the man who invented electricity, he was so in love with what he'd found. When he put up that first row of streetlights, which the world celebrated, did he know that we would then forever never see the stars? So that's like a metaphor for all the things we put in the way of us experiencing God, because we're so desperate to have meaning and be important ourselves. But that meaning and importance comes from really realizing the limitations of yourself and of humanity and of all that we create, and worshiping the real creator. And I hope that it makes people's heart long for that kind of worship and approach life in that way.
Well, it's just a beautiful film. I just luxuriate in it. I see Wondrous as a gracious invitation, this beauty speaking, saying, I am here with you. May we let the intimacy in the infinite remake us.
Right.
Thank you to filmmaker Sebastian Rogers for joining us for the W.